Hi guys, and welcome back to Manicentric. We are here today with just a quick little stocking stuffer nail art must-haves video. This was suggested by Varnish a little bit ago, so I'm gonna go ahead and just leap right into it. I started doing nail art about 5-6 years ago when I realized that like 50 nail polishes were not going to get used within a year if I just did plain old regular classic manicures. So I started mixing colors, mixing finishes, things like that. But the first thing that I mastered, or rather wanted to master, was the gradient. And basically the gradient is when you use a sponge to go ahead and sponge on 2 nail polishes at one time. So I know you guys see Equate Beauty on here, so you know that you can get these makeup sponges from Walmart really cheap, and it comes with a lot. So like if you can see that it's like 32 count sponges. Also with the sponges you can always like cut them. So let me see if I can grab one because I'm currently using one right now. Basically, once you're done using it for whatever mani, chop that part off and then you've still got usable sponge. So super important. I'm gonna go ahead and post some pictures up in one of these corners. I don't know which one I'm gonna choose, but I wanted to talk to you guys about these other applicators that allow you to do gradients too. The first one is going to be like the pen with the little sparkly beads things in the handle, and they're so cute that you're tempted to get it because it looks like it's going to make it so much more easy for you to do a gradient, but I don't recommend those. Why don't I recommend those? Because you spend more money getting replacement heads for it than you would with a sponge. You just don't get as much use out of it. Same thing with these with the little pink handle, and you've got the sponge, you stick the little sponge in, you've got the handle, it doesn't mess up your nails, but same time you're going to spend more money on replacements for it than you would with sponges. So seeing as I do my nails a lot, you just want to evaluate how often you're going to be doing gradients. If you're going to be doing them a lot, sponges. Sponges, sponges, sponges. So, on to the next thing. The next thing is striping. That was my next thing that I was really excited to get into, and I'm already into planning, so I have these on hand, but I've got 4 different sizes. Yes, because like I said, I'm already into doing creative other stuff. So, but I like washi tape better than anything because one, it's big enough to block off a whole area of my nail. Like let's see, I'm just doing a French tip, blocks it off so that I can't make big mistakes like getting it all over the place or outside of the lines. Also, washi tape is a lot less sticky. Like you can literally peel it off of paper without making a mess and ripping up the paper. So I prefer to use it on my manicures, and I've got it in a couple different sizes because like this would be a big stripe for my nail or a big stripe in the middle. And I would use that like if I've got crelly underneath and I want to put like cream colors on the sides. So I have that size. And then if I'm doing just a couple stripes on my nail, maybe 1 or 2, I've got the smaller one. And then if I'm going super all out thin stripes, I've got the actual nail striping tape that I use. And I choose to use the colors that I'm not going to use to decorate my nail with. And then that's where this comes in handy. Like if you do make some little mistakes, You can always use striping tape to kind of cover those up if you're not able to clean it up with a cleanup brush, which that does come with the disclaimer of making absolutely sure that when you're doing this, you use a top coat over your base color and make sure you let it dry thoroughly. I can't express that enough, just because I'm always falling prey to that, because I get impatient, I get excited, I want to, get this on tape or video for you guys, and yeah, I just showed my age. But definitely top coat allows you to protect your base color in case you need to clean up a little bit. And we're going to move on to the next thing. Since we use the striping tapes, washi tapes for lines and everything, there are also nail brushes that you can get. So I actually got a kit from Maniology that came with a bunch of brushes and stuffs. And they're actually double-sided. That's why I chose that for this example, because double-sided just made more sense for me. But I would also say at this point that if you're not good at painting a straight line, or you haven't had much experience with nail art brushes, stick to the washi tapes and nail guides. It will make your life so much more simple. Also, I like to use dotting tools, not so much for dotacures, but for just to glide nail polish in between tight spaces if I'm doing small lines and I'm only doing like one small line or two small lines, and I really don't need to use a whole nail polish brush. I also use it for reverse stamping, which this video isn't about stamping, so I'll get off of that real quick. But definitely I like these. Also, just for adding a couple of dots on your nail, if you've got like a shimmery or a flaky or a glitter polish that you don't want it to cover the whole nail, but you want it to kind of just, accent the cream or whatever color you're using. So, but if you are familiar with using nail art brushes and you're super comfortable with it, and you can move quickly enough that you can do art without the nail polish drying up on you, then I would suggest the striping brush. And I don't know which one of these ones I would suggest more. I'd probably choose the thinner one for like curved lines and whatnot. It really just, I don't use them that much. I'm not comfortable with them, so I really don't endorse brushes that much. Dotting tools and nail guides, yes, always. Moving on, I'm going to say next thing that's really great is nail art stickers. And I'm going to group in with the nail art stickers the water decals, because the water decals are a lifesaver if you're short on time and you really just don't want a big mess when you're doing your nails. These are lifesavers because unlike with stamping, you don't need your scraper, your stamper, your stamping plate, your stamping polishes, and a cotton grabber, and a little cup of acetone for cleanups, and you don't need the peel off latex for your cuticles. None of those are necessary with this. It's paint and pretty much peel off this little plastic part up top, and then cut out your design, peel off the plastic, and then let it soak in water for like a couple seconds, and then just stick it on you, peel it off of the white backing, stick it on your nail. Stickers, even simpler than that. Peel off and stick. Super easy, straight to the point, so simple and so quick to do. So like if you're in a position where you really just don't have time, they are fantastic. And I should have mentioned these with the washi tapes, but like nail guides and stencils. So awesome. These things are lifesavers. Super fast, super easy, and they make great stocking stuffers for your nail aficionados or manieistas. Quick way to know if they're into that is if their nails are always done, and every time you compliment them, they say, I did them myself. So these make like super great gifts. And I know I left out a couple of things. I'm going to go ahead and mention those real quick for you guys. I left out foil transfers with the, sticky glue stuff, just because it takes time to find ones that you really like. There's so much margin of error getting them one that they may or may not actually even want to use. Also, to create the cool looks that the nail techs do, you want to practice a little with your dry brushing technique, and then, applying just the amount of pressure to get just the right amount of foil on there. Also, I've had some weird smearing with my top coats with the transfer foils. Not so much with the transfer designs. So I kind of left those out and to the side. It's not a necessary must have. The other thing is the little embellishments like rhinestones and studs. I left those out because 9 times out of 10, they come off, they peel off, they get lost. And especially if your manista does a lot dealing with food and stuff, you really don't want that to be a possibility. So they may not be super interested in having rhinestones and studs on their nails unless they use gels. If they use gels, then that's a whole nother story. It adheres better and you can always encase it. So that is it, the list of my must-haves and things that I really have to have in my life for my nail art. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For everybody that's already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with me. For those of you that have not, I hope this video helps you out, and I hope you'll consider subscribing. I also want to, just for anybody who's FTC watching this video, none of these products were purchased for me. I paid for them with my own money, as well as the ones that I mentioned. I have purchased them in the past and was not in particularly happy with what I purchased. So all disclaimers out the way. I can't wait to talk to you guys again. Have a great rest of your day.